Hello, 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 hello. Um, Taking a break from watching SCG live coverage of the latest Open to pick out a deck to show off. Let's see, what deck do we want to play with today? Last time we did a deep-ish dive, it was on the not blue Planeswalker deck. And this time, I don't know, I have some decks that are pretty untested at this point, but I just want to take them out. So today, let's do Green X. So this is a deck I haven't even put in my deck box yet, but I will add it there very soon. Maybe even while hanging out here, we'll see. Because it's not very hard. I can just do it from my iPad while waiting for games to connect, right? And this deck is, it's pretty good. The idea is instead of being a ramp deck, so to speak, it's just kind of a mid-range, good creature beatdown deck with a lot of value guys built in so it doesn't run out of gas like Tireless Tracker and Duskwatch Recruiter. And then the Eldrazi creatures along with this guy, Endbringer, which I don't think is right in a lot of decks, but a green deck doesn't really have a way to stop or exile the opponent's big creatures, but Endbringer can just make it so it can't attack or block. So it's good against tokens. You can do 1 damage to things. It's good against ramp. You can just shut down some big attacker. And it's good at just drawing cards, so it's good against control. So in this kind of, what is bad against is people with a lightning axe, but we'll try to make it work. So, come along with me, and we'll see what we can do and get in some games. In the meantime, I should work on uploading this deck list so that you guys can check it out. Create new. I am sorry. Oh, it's got to be really quiet right now because I don't have the music turned on. I will turn the music up in a second. I promise. TikTok. Do we have a game? Yep, we got a game. Hallelujah. So if I'm being quiet, I'm just loading up the deck list onto magicduelshelper.com so that I can link you guys if I need to, or you can find it. Because I know you want it. I know it's the most common question. All right, we're live up. I don't know. The Warping Wails can get us there. This is potentially a turn 3 Thought-Knot. So let's find out where this goes. Okay, it's not letting me do anything. So let's take a moment, go to settings, audio, and nudge the settings there because it's too quiet in here. And guess what? AI. Get our waist on. See what he's got for us. See what the AI has. By the way, anybody notice that? I did not get the opportunity to just take my gold and run. So, concession happened, no gold for me. I gotta play the AI. I think I would anyway, but you know. It's the principle of the thing at this point. Alright, did it. Got there. We have 3 Warping Wails and 3 Ruin in their wakes, and they're only there to let us play our 4 and 5 drops early. Okay. Languish. Languish can go. I could have tried to play around it with Warping Wail and taken the tutelage instead. There's a world where that's right. I don't know. I wonder. Maybe I should have considered that better. I probably could have made a better choice. And what's he draw? Disperse. So he's going to disperse this and draw a card. And I need to top deck a land to play it again. But if I do play it again, I get tutelage. That's not the right land. But we get to do this Mondo combo, everybody. If you haven't done this before, you haven't really lived. We'll sack the wilds now. I know I usually do it early anyway, but we definitely do it early now because there is a world where we sack it and he kills the tracker in response and we get no clue. So, yeah. Time and place for everything, including sacking your wilds. Main phase. Time and place for everyone, for everything. Alrighty. Tutelage it is. I think this hand's pretty clear that we want to hit his hand right in the face. Rise up and Thought-Knot. And he's got Vampiric Rites and 4 lands. Well, I'm feeling good as long as he doesn't top deck another Languish. Feeling good. He drew a Reeve Soul. That's pretty good for him. The clues were gonna get crazy pretty soon. But we've still got a pair, and I don't know if we'll need to use them. Get in there, Thought-Knot. Let's see what he's milling so far. I mean, we are green and colorless. He may be able to mill our deck quickly, but I think we can press him out. Plus, we have Bellower, and we do have a Sage, as long as he doesn't mill it first. Okay. He can make some chump blockers. We know he has the land. Oh, he top decked a Clutch Occurrence. We would like to draw a land off the top. That would make my day. If not, we might just hold up for... Oh. Well, Ki. Let's do that. I guess there were other ways to make my day. Happy Sunday, happy weekend to all the world, or if you're watching this on YouTube, whatever day you happen to be watching it on. I have had an awesome weekend. I have played a stupid amount of duels. I've talked until my voice doesn't work. And I've already got, you know, I definitely haven't solved the format. Don't let me try to give that impression, but I've learned some things. Some cards that I thought were bad might be good. Some cards I thought were good might not be that good. Some decks that I really wanted to play failed me miserably, and some decks overachieved. It's been a really fun weekend. In just about every way. So he's got 2 tokens. Let's see how he blocks, I guess. And yeah, watching SCG Baltimore has been the other thing I do with my time, and it has been amazing. The decks are so interesting to me that are out there right now. It's just cool to see a nice big format shake up like SCG Baltimore appears to be providing. So, let's see. What could he actually do here? Rise from the Tides is a bunch of chump blockers, but I don't think he even has anything in his graveyard. Languish would kill Thought-Knot Seer, and then maybe he also has a bounce spell for Reality Smasher, and that keeps him alive, so I need to play something big and out of Languish range. So... Or I can just hold up Warping Wail. I mean, then he can't cast a sorcery, so we'll just play that. Okay, first I have to be careful on what I mean by bad. I'm not saying that they were unplayable garbage. I'm saying that I'm saying they're not as good as I hoped. I didn't think that they were that importantly good, and now they kind of are. And I promise I'll write about that on the blog, not to be, hey, found your Reclamation Sage. I'll write about it on the blog, not to be like, you have to read my blog if you want to know my opinion. But one right off the bat that I'll give you as a tasty teaser is Tireless Tracker. I didn't think that card would be as significant as it has been. And Bygone Bishop, like, I liked both those cards, but I did not think they were absolutely magic incarnate. I did not see them as brilliant cards. I thought that both the Planeswalkers and the larger mid-range threats would be too appealing to make cards at 3-drop like Bygone Bishop and Tireless Tracker very good. But that's not true. You can play a bunch of 3 and under cards and just like go to Value Town and compete with the larger drops. So that was something I didn't necessarily foresee. And that's a good one. Those are kind of 2 examples. And again, I didn't think they were bad. I just didn't think they'd go right into all these other builds. Oh, hey, we did it, guys! We got to rank 40. I wasn't even paying attention. I sprouted some shoulder pads. I got some funky ears. Look at that. Woohoo! I mean, white humans is fine. It's not ridiculous. Oh, Spawn, you like the Super Friends deck. I am glad. Now, if you think that deck's fun, I think this deck that I'm playing right now is pretty fun. Like, I'm pretty high on it, not gonna lie. And maybe I shouldn't be, but I like it a lot. And I'm in the process of putting the deck list over on the website, which I should have done before I streamed. I'm still getting used to some of these things to have a good stream process, to make sure, for example, that a deck list is always available for people to check out, because that is by far the #1 question. Where is the deck list? And I'm like, I haven't posted it yet because I'm still working on the deck. It's still brand new to me, and I would probably change a card, as soon as I play with it. But people are like, deck list, we want deck list. And I'm like, okay, I gotta figure out a way to make sure that anytime a viewer wants a deck list, that they can find one without too much trouble. So that's been something I gotta get used to. And yeah, rank 40 hype. Wait, what does Mobius do on rank 40? What does he do? Oh, I'm trying to remember. Does anybody remember what Mobius does when he hits rank 40? Because I want to do it for him. I just remember it's really funny. Oh, I know now. I remember what it is. I know what he does. Here it is. Oh, wait. So that's the Sandstorm Airhorn remix that Mobius did once upon a time when he hit rank 40. That left me cracking up for a long time. Maybe it's not as funny when I do it. But I remember that very fondly. It really did make me laugh pretty hard. So that's in honor of Mobius. for the Darude Airhorn Sandstorm mix for the rank 40 esports try hard hype. Yeah, maybe it's just for me, but so be it. Probably he pulls it off a lot better than I do. Yeah, whatever. To each their own, Kreider. I liked it, and it's my channel. Let's see. I guess in this case, I guess you always play your ramp spell. You just have more options afterwards. Let's see. Ooh, ratings. Ooh, there's ratings now on Magic Duels Helper. Ah, nice. So I got the deck list for this up. It's probably the top one on my link. Green X is what I call it. Eldrazi is a 3-syllable word, and I am not a fan of 3-syllable or 4-syllable words that I have to repeat hundreds of times over and over and type out over and over. So I has named them, I now call the Eldrazi-based decks the ones that run things like Matter Reshaper and Reality Smasher. Basically anything that makes use of the Diamond Mana. I call those X decks. So like this is Green X, I have a Boros X, I have a Red X, stuff like that. Oh my gosh, people have already gone on there and rated some of my decks. Ah! This is so cool! Magic Duels Helper. I am so happy with this website. I just discovered it like last week. I just got on it last week, and since then I've been having so much fun. It's run by a really cool guy. He like actually hustles to fix stuff and get stuff done when I let him know about some bugs and stuff, glitches, and he was all over it. Like, dude's an animal. Most people who try to run websites, you know, sometimes it's a hobby or whatnot. It doesn't work out, but it's pretty cool. Oh, Clutch Occurrence. And I'm back. I guess this play this turn, and then make a clue, and then next play double spell. Next turn double spell, I think, is the best. So let's do that. And there we go. Getting a clue. So I guess this looks like a Izzet control deck of some kind, or maybe tempo. It could still be Thopters, just with all the wrong cards. And Chandra. Well, Chandra is a bit of an issue if we don't draw our Spatial Contortion, which we do have in the deck, but doesn't look like it wants to show up just yet. So I think this turn we pop a clue and try to draw into that Spatial Contortion. If that doesn't work, we Matter Reshaper. I think we hold Sylvan Advocate for our 6th land. I think that's the strategy. So we can do this and keep Rogue's Passage a secret and still make this play. We definitely want to grow our tracker. And please be Spatial Contortion. Yep, no. Okay, do we want to draw again, or do we want to play the Matter Reshaper? I think we need the Matter Reshaper, because it makes it even easier to flip Chandra if he gets to block. So we have the Rogue's Passage. If he can kill our creatures, he's in really good shape with a flip Chandra. If he doesn't, we can get at her pretty easy. What up, Mortivore? Slipping through space. So this is like a secret prowess deck, but I mean that's not a red card. So he He can get him for 1, cast 1 red spell, and ping me with Chandra and Flipper. But that won't remove both creatures, I don't think. Well, let's see what happens. Pretty land-heavy draw from whatever deck this is. Just seems like an odd Izzet tempo deck. Now, there's a lot of options in Izzet right now. I am not pretending to have the best idea of what to play in Izzet at the moment, but man, there's a lot of good options. Okay, that hurts. Although at least it didn't go to my face. And now he can flip Chandra, but he didn't flip Chandra. Maybe he wants to make sure that she doesn't die. Let's get a card. Getting a bit flooded. We have none of our mid-range threats, so here we go. Just gotta pressure, pressure, pressure. Alright. See what he's got for that. But this is as floody a flood as you get. 4 spells? Yep, 4 spells. Kind of a negative. But let's see if we can still rip it off somehow. Four spell, 10 land. Tough for any deck to overcome. Let's see if we can do it. Is he gonna flip Chandra now? What's he gonna do? Call the full... Whoa. Whoa. Dude. That's intense, dude. I mean, what are you gonna do with that? What do you think? Do I block here, or is this like a really obvious Titan strength? I think it's a really obvious Titan strength if he attacks. Of course, would he think this hard? Oh, okay. Nice play. So he's gonna lose that Call of Full Moon. Let's see if he has a way to flip Chandra after all this shenanigans. Very weird deck. Like, it just feels really disjointed to me. It has a lot of blue spells with Chandra. It has Call of the Full Moon and a theme that clearly wants it to play multiple spells in a turn. And he has a Chandra he hasn't even flipped. Hello. Do we hold back the Reshaper because he's shown that he has a lot of nasty toys? He has a lot of nasty toys like Clutch Occurrence and Grip Through the Royal, so it's like, do we play around that or do we play around Slip Through Space? Because Slip Through the Space means I can't stop it anyway. I think we just try to get him in range so I can kill him. I don't think I have a choice. Trying to play around anything from here, he's obviously, he can either make it unblockable, trample, or he can tap my guys. So I think we just have to play as if we can't block. This is game 2. Today, this is my green Eldrazi list, or if you go to my my Magic Duels Helper site, it's under Green X. Just adding some lingo to my Magic vocabulary, like I call aristocrats crats because it's one syllable. I'm calling the Eldrazi colorless diamond decks X, so this is my Green X deck. And he left. Wow. Let's continue. Let's earn our gold. I don't feel like this one's over. But yeah, so this game is Flood City. We only had 4 spells until last turn when we drew a Colossus, but here we are. Now we got Big Daddy, the bringer of the end. Let's get in there. The now is that a ramp deck that you're running? I guess I'm gonna call you Bounce, even though it says that you're OC. Some people might get confused, but I know him on the forums under a different name and as a Bounce Burn buff. So have you been running it ramp style? Because this is a very mid-range style that I'm trying out. This is a very, very mid-rangey deck. It tops out on Endbringer and just the 2 copies. It runs Ruin in their wake, but it runs no other ramp cards. Well, it also runs the Cultivator. So Ruin in their wake and Cultivator to play our Eldrazi early. Yeah, cool. I don't know. I'm already really digging on this deck. I think it's pretty. I've had a good time so far with it. I mean, look at all this craziness. I've also found Rogue's Passage to be pretty awesome in the format in general. I think it's even better now than it was in the past. Obviously, Acid Moss just blew it up before it could ever do anything useful in the past. But now it's like the mid-range breaker, as we both just play big, nasty creatures. Just big, big, nasty creatures. Now, here's the thing with the Endbringer. This is only my 2nd game online with the deck. I played a bunch against AI on iOS. But my theory on Endbringer is, and we'll see how it goes, is the green deck kind of needs 2 things that aren't very green. One is card advantage. The other is a way to pick off tokens, and the other is a way to just stop a creature, a big monster, a big Voltron creature from attacking. And Endbringer does that. Like, if they go all in on the Profane Prince, and you have Endbringer, you can just keep it from attacking forever. And if you're in a mid-range grind fest where the board's clogged up, you can just draw cards until you overwhelm them. And so it's got to live, but I think that Endbringer will be fine as long as it's not against a deck full of counterspells and a deck full of Lightning Axe. I mean, there's obviously some very, very poor places to draw an Endbringer, and hopefully we have enough big threats that what might happen even in those matchups, I'm hoping, is we play big spells, they play their removal, we play more big spells, we play their removal, and then the last card we play is Endbringer, and if they don't have an answer to it, we just pull back ahead. So that's my take on Endbringer. I didn't actually think it would be that good of a card, and I didn't think I would use it that often. I didn't think I would end up playing Endbringer, but when I was just looking through this deck, I'm like, that's what this deck needs to not just die to a deck that goes bigger. You know, Endbringer can kind of lock down their big monster, their Ulvenwald Hydra or whatever. And yeah, Bounce, I know you're a control guy. I know you can't wait to zap my Endbringer, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not married to the card, let me just put it that way. Alright, so we got the turn 4 Thought-Knot or the turn 5, or the turn 3 Thought-Knot or the turn 4 Colossus. Which do we want? Well, when I see black and white, which means removal, I want the Thought-Knot. I do not run Mimic in this list. And it's on Magic Duel's Helper under my deck box now, so you can go check it out if you want to. No Eldrazi Mimic. I think there's only like 6 colorless creatures. Doesn't seem worth it to me. So there's our other ramp spell of sorts with Warping Wail. And there's Thought-Knot. So let's see what we can do to his hand. Unholy Hunger and Vampire Envoy. And 4 lands. So this is a pretty clear pick for the Envoy, although that will get annoying with the Steward. It's still a turn away. So we just got to watch out for that Envoy Steward. That's the big combo, right? But I'm pretty sure our Colossus and Rogue's Passage can race it just fine. We just have to keep him off any more removal. More land. This is going to be another land-heavy game. Not what I'm loving about. But at least he's kind of mana screwed too. But he gets to assemble combo next turn. There's that. So he didn't draw a relevant 4-drop. But he's not moving the timer right away, so he might have a relevant 3-drop. And he's going to hold that Stewart back, so maybe he has Tandem Tactics? Let's see what he does with it. That would imply Tandem Tactics, but that would have just skipped priority, so I actually don't think he has it. Like, it would have flown right through priority if he had Tandem Tactics. Am I willing to gamble that he doesn't? I mean, I guess. Because even if he has it, I can still race him with the Outland. The way that priority worked, it seems like he doesn't have it. Pause. So he had one window to draw it, and it really doesn't look like he's got it. If he uses it, he doesn't get the +1/+1 at least. He gets to draw a card. Then I Outland Colossus. I do have to race him here. But I also don't have to take the risk. If he has any way to draw a card or an Enshrouding Mist, nah. No need to take the risk. The Colossus will still win the race. Guilt Leaf. Okay. And now he's tapped out, so hallelujah. Yeah, get in there. That 1/4. I assume he'll take this Colossus hit. I don't think he wants to give up either of those cards. Let's Oath first. See what we get. Maybe a Reality Smasher can join the fun. Nope. Why would it? Okay. One at a time, buddy. One at a time. Everybody forgets. Everybody forgets. Okay, so I'm happy with that trade. And since he played that winnower, it's unlikely to have another, so let's get this out here. Interesting little mid-range battle between a life gain deck. Linvala. That's not going to do anything. Wow. So we had the same life total and we had the same creature count, so he got nothing off of Linvala. But that is a big way to race me. That is a very big creature. So maybe we do have to play for the Abbey. Let's see. I need another dude. Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's see. Take that out. Turn him sideways. If he takes 8, he goes to 11. He can go up to 12. I may just have to hold this back, actually. Let's see. No, I think the right play is to nerf the Stewart Or I could attack with Colossus and see what he does. If he blocks with the Steward, then what do I do? I can make a creature on end step. You would probably block the Cultivator, and I can trade Cultivator and a Spatial Contortion for Linvala, most likely, if I attack with the Cultivator. Is that a good trade? Nah. I want to keep that on the board. So, the play is right there. And he is going to take it and fall to 13, which unfortunately is not quite 12. But he's got to be on the defense now. He's in trouble. I really wouldn't play Linvala in a deck that's built to gain life and cast creatures. I think that's a really silly choice on his part. I think you guys would agree with that. If your deck is built to cast a bunch of creatures and gain a lot of life, how much action are you ever going to get off that Linvala? Oh, he's going in. He's going in. All right. What am I missing? Instant speed removal? I mean, he's got the vents, right? So another Spatial Contortion is kind of needed. Pausing me. Oh, don't do it now. It's not. No, dude. Dude, don't do it now. It's not my turn. Oh. Oh, bro. No, dude. Oh, that's how cool. You know, guys, what's cooler than being cool? Ice cold. Yeah, he talks to angels. Oopsie daisy. We had a good game there. If I did my math right, I was gonna be able to activate the Profane Prince that turn and probably be okay. But, you know, there you go. Yeah, guys. That was funny. So, 2 games in a row, we've pretty much flooded. We've drawn a lot more lands than spells for 2 games in a row. But in each of those games we won, because our lands had good utility value, and because our cards are super duper powerful compared to some of the things that we've been playing against. So, I think that speaks to the strength of the deck. Thought-Knot Seer and Outland Colossus showed up in both games and kind of carried the whole team. The deck actually has a lot of ways to draw cards and find more creatures, which I haven't seen in 2 games. So, how much longer am I on for? I don't know. My wife went to have girl time in town. I could be watching the SCG Open, but I'm just kind of hanging out. I've been invited to a party. Better let that guy know I'm streaming. So, I've got all day. The only thing I might log off for is like the like really intense rounds of the SCG Open. Papa. Send that message out, and we got an opponent. I love this dude. Look at that. He's peddling water balloons full of magic. This dude is awesome. Have you fought me, Dethaga? I don't know, have I? I don't write down who I play anymore. I used to. Now I don't. This is good hand. This is some of that card advantage I was talking about. I mean, look at the value. Like, are you guys seeing this? Look at all the value in these cards. And there's still awesome power toughness on curve, you know? Ah! Oh man, they gave green the goodies, you guys. I don't know if you noticed, but green's got the goods. Oh, did he miss his wilds? Missed his wilds. Maybe he did on purpose. Doghouse. Come get some rank 40 day 3 action, or day 4 action, I guess. But does day 1 even count? I mean, I guess I played on day 1, so it counts. Yeah, man, I got all the cards with about 4K to go. These are John Cena rules. If you want some, come get some. I will take on challengers from chat or from my friends list, whatever you guys want. My gamer tag is CovertGoBlue, like that. You can find me on Xbox Live if you want to battle. Are you kidding? Foils are okay. I don't know. Foils don't speak to me as a person. Let me just put it that way. The idea of foiling a card in my deck just does not make me go, ooh. So no, I'm not planning to foil up anything. Just not going to do it. So we have an interesting choice. We could search for wastes and then play Ruin in Their Wake, and we could untap with 5 mana next turn. But I'm actually going to save both of these, Ruin in Their Wake and Evolving Wilds. They're not hitting our curve anymore, and I'm going to save them to hopefully play with Tireless Tracker to get some clues. So that's the plan. Can Steam players fight Steam players? Yeah, but they can't fight me. Jory, where's Spatial Contortion when you need it? Ah. Foil Topin Freeblade, jeez. Wouldn't have thought that, but that's interesting, dude. So, another Izzet deck. The Izzet decks have really kind of, they're taking over, man. I see them everywhere nowadays. I see so much Izzet going on. I think there's a lot of options in Izzet. Just so many. I haven't figured out the right build or anything. It probably doesn't involve that card because you want to cast spells when you have a Jorian Ruin Diver, not activate abilities. But there you go. I mean, I guess it's a spell. He really doesn't want to lose that Jorian. So it's tempting to attack here, but I don't think I will. Thought-Knot. So now we've got the wastes, so next turn can be a very cool turn. Harbinger and Titan Strength. Actually, I'm going to take the Titan Strength since it trades with any of my creatures just about any time, and it's 1 mana, so it's easy for Jorian. We have to remember that Harbinger, though. I mean, that's a pretty easy card to turn around. He has to leave up 4 mana to make it work, and it can't hit the Sylvan Advocate. So next turn should be good. We can play Tracker, we can play Evolving Wilds, and we can play Ruin in Their Wake. We can make 3 clues, and we can... So he's going to make that. He's going to attack. I mean, I assume you do. Do I block? He would have had to draw something off the top of his deck. I'll bite. I mean, what do you got, dude? He drew a Titan Strength. Okay. Good for him. He's the man. But he doesn't even get to draw off that because it's not a second spell for Jory. But let's see. He gets to draw off the Thought-Knot. Good job. Right off the top of the deck. But we're going to have a good turn. We're going to counteract all that card disadvantage with some card advantage, and it's going to be fine. I guess I can't do the Evolving Wilds play this turn, but I'll do it next turn. Indeed, getting to see the opponent's top decks, man, what a tilt. What a tilt. But we know he has Harbinger of the Tides, we know he has a land, and he has one unknown card about to be two unknown cards. So, watch out for Harbinger, and watch out for two unknown cards. It's holding up priority, which means well, the Harbinger would do that, even though it can be played as flash. Okay, so he's gonna do this. I mean, okay, dude. You're gonna make a... Is he going to make a 3-1? He doesn't make the 3-1, so we know he didn't draw a pump spell. And we know he drew that Evolving Wild, so one unknown card that is not a pump spell. Hello, big buddy. You might come in handy. But first... let's see if he wants to, like, make bad blocks, since he doesn't have pump spells right now. He has Harbinger of the Tides, though, so I can't attack with my tracker. Not when he has mana up. Let's put the Advocate at him. He may double block. That would be fine. Yep, make a 3-1. Block with a 2-1. Or, yeah, there it is. Yep. Good riddance to your Stonewaker. And it took all his mana, so that lets me resolve this guy. Now that's going to be kind of hard to play around Harbinger of the Tides, but I think it will be fine. We can get plenty of value out of this dude. Stonewaker is back. So this guy really believes in the Stonewaker, and I'll admit, it's done some good stuff, more than I thought it would do for him this game, but I still think it's taking away from what he really wants to do. So he drew that Wandering Fumarole and that Stonewaker, so we know he has... I think it's a land and a Harbinger of the Tides, if I remember, because I thought he had one more basic land. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty certain. So let's see if our opponent wants to bounce. Well, we can do that on end step. I guess we're fine if he wants to bounce our tracker at this point. We've got plenty of mana, so let's make some clues. How about those clues, guys? I wonder if we'll actually get to use any. So what I'm going to do is attack with a tracker and try to get him to use his Harbinger of the Tides. Because I'd rather keep the Endbringer on the battlefield. So I'm going to make a clue. I'm going to sack a clue. He's going to play Harbinger. I'm going to Endbringer his Stonewaker. Hello! Okay, he's not going to Harbinger yet. So I know what he wants to bounce. He wants to bounce, Endbringer. I guess I just have to let that happen and get that part of the game over with. I can use it to draw a card. But let's get Shaper out. And now he's probably going to use his Harbinger of the Tides. Or not. I mean, I guess he doesn't necessarily have to. I probably would have at least considered it. Here it comes. And there it goes. And he got the Draw Isle, and he's going to draw with his Ruin Diver. Yep. You, sir, are talented. So he's got a Flyer. Flyers can be annoying for this deck. But, so I guess now we just start going up. I guess the play is upstairs. Upstairs is the play. Rogue's Passage. Another Evolving Wild. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Clues. Yeah, got it. Okay. So he's had enough of watching clues happen. If he double blocks Endbringer, then he can't block Reality Smasher. If he double blocks Reality Smasher, I get to keep Endbringer. I really don't need to draw more cards, and I don't have anything to poke with Endbringer. So I'm just going to swing with all, and he'll probably double block to get Endbringer off the board, but that takes his battlefield down, and he can't win if he doesn't maintain a battlefield. Not with all the clues we have. So that's the logic. Ah, Bunchy. Hey, I'm trying to explain what's going on here. I'm really trying to put it out there for you. Take out Jory, because that's his way of getting back in here with card advantage. Put that onto the battlefield. Yeah. Sweet. So many clues, so little time. And look, all 3 Stonewakers. So this player thinks that Stonewaker is the bee's knees, you guys. In a Surge and basically in a Surge deck, right? So, yeah, man, can't get behind that. If he attacks with the token, I'll just kill it with the Endbringer instead of blocking. Or I'll block it with Endbringer, and then I'll kill it. No, that doesn't work if he has a pump spell. But then it doesn't block if he doesn't have a pump spell. Nah. It stays home. I like you, Nighthawk. The guy has transcended Mortal deck building. You always find the bright side of some of the most ridiculous Magic Duels experiences. Down with you. I mean, that should be it. How many clues can one deck make? And it's green. Are we supposed to have this many clues in green, you guys? Doesn't feel right. Alright. Yeah, those clues are just terrifying, man. I know how I'd feel if I were looking at, like, draw 7 whenever I get around to it, you know, as soon as I have nothing better to do. That's certainly an intimidating board presence, would be 7 clues. Especially, like I said, if he can't keep up on the board. it allows us to just trade our resources instead of being like addicted to them like we did with that Reality Smasher, because we'll just draw more, and our opponent will sit there twiddling their thumbs and wishing they had clues. Nope, 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 nope. What's up, SCG Live? See where they're at in the tournament. If anybody follows Paper Magic, I love watching new format battles, and that's what's going on SCG Live. And it's the first time, guys, I believe it's the first time ever, that we have on Duels the new cards that they are also playing in competitive Paper Magic for the first time in Shadows over Innistrad. So, some cards that I just didn't know how good they were, like Tireless Tracker, you see them get played by the, competitive Paper Magic community, and it gives you a bit more of an idea of what's going on. Yeah, Tireless Tracker's in there. Duskwatch Recruiter, I was pretty sure that card was good, but seeing it get so much use. Fall of the Titans is another card that's been on camera a few times that makes me wonder if I'm doing something wrong, that I'm not getting that kind of action out of Fall of the Titans. So I gotta practice with that more. I don't know, man. It's just it's really cool to see cards out there. I saw a Nahiri yesterday with 20 loyalty on it, so apparently Nahiri's good, but mostly for her plus, not for anything else. Apparently Naya Planeswalkers wants some kind of a loot effect. Alright, let's go. Thing in the Ice, of course, flipping like crazy. In case you didn't know that card was good. It's probably a good card. I've already played with it a number of times. I don't think we've done anything, no, we haven't played anything blue yet for our Deep Dive deck series, but that should probably be next on the list. I just really wanted to bust out this green X list and see what we can do with it. There's no colorless source here. The Duskwatch Recruiter is a fine card, but if we don't draw a colorless source, this hand is pretty bad. Still, I think we can, I don't know. I love that Duskwatch Recruiter, though. And Ruin in Their Wake will draw it. Let's see where this goes. Could be a mistake. Rank 40 is max. It's true. Yeah, look at Tireless Trackers on camera again right now, along with a Reflector Mage. Ouchie wah-wah. Well, that's not good. Not what we wanted to draw. Funny how we didn't draw these at all the last few games, and then here they are. So how many colorless sources do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. At least 11, 12, 13, 14. So at least 14 live draws for a colorless source. Let's see what happens. Matchmaking is really, while I don't approve of that, matchmaking is not good on Xbox. We don't always get the kind of matchups we'd like. That's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. And that's also true. Rank does pretty much mean nothing in duels, except that you somehow were able to win 40 games. That's all it means. At some point, they won 40 games. They could have lost 500 and just known when to quit. Or, well, at least that's the way it works on Steam and iOS, to preserve their rank. Anybody who can win about 2 times for every loss will eventually get there. I mean, but in this case, my rank 40 means something. I know what I'm up to. If a guy's rank 40 on like day 4 of the format, that you could take that as a sign. I think that's a pretty clear sign that you're not that you're dealing with a not the average bear. Okay, another Duskwatch. So I could flip my Duskwatch, and have a really big turn next turn, but I definitely want to cast a Contortion, so I think I'm going to attack with Duskwatch, play Duskwatch number 2, Evolving Wilds for waste. That's the plans. It's not the most mana, I mean it's mana efficient-ish, but I may have not much to do with my mana next turn, which would be a big negative, but hey, we found our colorless source, that's what we really needed. And let's just hope it doesn't skip us on the end step, and I don't get distracted watching SCG live, so I miss my waste trigger. But this is a case where I don't want to sacrifice it till my opponent's end step. I don't want them to know I'm getting a waste, because that does make them think of things like Spatial Contortion. So this guy's playing like Jund Death. Oh, he's getting saucy. Okay, that's how it's gonna be. I see what you're up to. I see what you're playing at. Alright, he's made his plays for the turn. Alright. You got me. Tireless Tracker. Not the time, I don't think. I think I need to have Spatial Contortion up, so land pass turn. Flip our guy, and then use a Spatial Contortion and a 3/3 as defense. Do you think TITI has a place in Is It Agrostorm? TITI. What's TITI? What is TITI? You're using abbreviations I don't know. Woodland Wanderer is going to be a pain. I've got a lot of creatures, and they're probably going to die pretty often. So it's tempting to hit that core blade, but I think we go over, yeah. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I think we'll start here. That'll be a 2/2, then we can hit that later. Yeah. Oh, jeez, Thing in the Ice. Does it have a place in what? It has a place in a lot of things. Now I've lost your comment. It, like, scrolled past it. Thing in the Ice has a place in a lot of things, man. That card is good. That card is good. Tireless Tracker, get down there. Get me a clue. I need one. I has not a clue. And let's see what happens. Thing in the Ice is in most of my... oh, and is at aggro. Yeah, I do. I disagree with some people on this one, but I run Thing in the Ice in my Is It Prowess deck with like 20-some land, and wow, his draw is going to be a handful, guys. We're up against it at the moment. That would be silly. I guess he's not worried about things dying. Alright. We are up against it. Lily's gotta go. Right? Right. Lily's gotta go. Does Woodland Wanderer have to go? No, I don't think so. We can take that hit for now. This is going to be a rough game, so I'm not going to be responding to any other distraction questions for a minute. I got to see if I can pull this one off. It's actually going to be a challenge. Let's get the big guy out there and hope to turn it from here. See if we get an opportunity to trade him. And if we'll take it. I don't know if I would. I don't have a way to draw cards with him yet, but he can lock down a creature. Reevesoul. Ouch. Well, got another one of those. Probably just Wanderer here, because if he trades, then he still has a 5/5, and I think I have to take it. I think I have to, which is too bad, because now I am in like Chandra's Ignition or just random crazy burnout range. Okay. Wow. An interesting draw. I guess more power and toughness is the answer to my problems. What can I get for a creature? I could get another Duskwatch, and that would dig me to more creatures, but I don't think that's really what I want. Sylvan Advocate's good, but I don't have my 6th land. Yeah. I do need another land. So I guess this is the best thing I can probably do. So this is going to untap on his turn, so we may as well shoot him. Start whittling on that life total. Yeah, there's not much we can do about Chandra's Ignition if he has it. We got ourselves into a bind this game. He just came out on fire, killed all our stuff, grew big things. He definitely has had the priority this whole game. And we got our wastes, but we didn't have it online till turn 4. And that was a problem. If we had had it earlier, we could have cut off the bleeding with the Spatial Contortions, but that's not the way it worked. Alright. Reading Bones. Let's see what he can find. So we're going to have to turn this corner quick. I'll probably have to be more aggressive than I want to be, really, to get him dead. We just got... So that's a pretty good turn because he didn't have, you know, more creatures. So we just have to keep our creatures on the board and try to wear his out. Oh man, what do you do? Can you counter a sorcery spell? Let's have that around, shall we? Tracker gets down. It doesn't do anything. Only one source. Let's start throwing the Bellower at him. He's gonna have a think. I gotta get this game ended. And he's gonna go for the block. Okay. Grows. So we can do this. We can sack a clue first. No, we want to do it with the tracker in play. Try to hit a land drop, preferably a colorless one. Twin Bolt. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, he's going for the tracker. Okay. Lucky me. I thought he was going for the Deathcap Cultivator, which would have taken my ability to Warping Wail away from me. And we do not hit. We hit a Ruin in their wake, which we can go get a waste and then play it, but then we can't Warping Wail, which is kind of my solution if he draws Ignition. So, and any other big removal spell. So, not gonna do it. Let's get this in here. Yep. Feeling the quiet, feeling the tension. I hope you guys are dialed in a little bit on this one. It's a good game. Nissa. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I can kill that. And I can kill that. Alright, he's out of cards. Let's see what he decides to do here. He still doesn't want to give up his Rot Shambler. I don't blame him. It's easily the biggest problem. We gotta kill this first. I don't understand some of this guy's deck, but we gotta admit, he put us under pressure, so right now we have to respect whatever he does. So I think here we fetch, we get a waste, so we have our double waste finally. And we don't put into play tapped. So this is an important thing. You can say no to this question it's going to ask me, and then if you haven't played a land this turn, like I haven't, it'll go into your hand. And then you can play it. Like so. Alright. Now, do I need to cast, like, Matter Reshaper? No, I'd rather cast my creatures when I have my Duskwatch flipped. Alright, here we go. He's off the top. Firecraft. How many? Does he have Spell Mastery? Yeah, he does. Life gain. Deck doesn't really have it. Nailed it. What a weird choice. He just throws Firecraft into that deck too. But hey, there you go. Way to go, opponent. Handed us our butt. I guess the moral there is don't keep hands without the colorless mana if you have multiple colorless cards. That was probably too ambitious a keep. I think I did okay the rest of the time. So that was kind of a weird, like, Jun's Miracle Grow Kratz with a bunch of oddness. But hey, easy come, easy go, rank 40. Congrats to our opponent, who I believe had like a 1 or 2 rank, and everybody was complaining about the bad matchmaking. But there you go, we had a really good game, so stop complaining, please. Yep. Thank you. It does go back to the hand. I was a bit too ambitious. I just love Duskwatch Recruiter so much, I was like so excited to play it on turn 2. You don't know what to cut, huh? It's one of the finer points of Magic, that's for sure. If you have cards in your deck that say Cohort, cut those. Let me just put it that way, Nuke. If you have cards in your deck that say Cohort, please cut them. you will be better for the experience. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree. I won't be mad if you still play them. Just putting that out there. Have I made a mono-red burn deck? Sort of. Just all face damage spells? Sounds like it loses to Jotty Offshoot. I mean, Mindless Fun isn't quite what I'm in for. There's also a good amount of life gain in the format now. Like incidental life gain that wasn't there before. Eiley is a good example, so is Sorin. Linval is a good example. Much better. Yeah, let's get curving, baby. Let's get on a curve. Hello. Well, I already have a recruiter, but I also always want more recruiters. Sylvan Advocate's awesome, though. but we don't have many lands. But I also don't want to tie my mana up on a Recruiter then, so you're the winner. Let's try to put out Duskwatch, because if he fails to cast a spell on his turn 2, it'll flip, and we can play Thought-Knot early. Yeah, but Kalitas with a board wipe is amazing. Even if you kill Kalitas, you get a whole bunch of zombies. I freaking love that. Oh, I drew Ruin. I think this is still the right play for this scenario. Because I don't know if he's going to be able to play a spell. And we have a board presence with this, where we wouldn't have one with Ruin. Okay. Never mind, yeah, spell. Still, this is the kind of thing, like, a lot of people are still doing, like, Sylvan Ranger, Elvish Visionary on turn 2. Those cards are so bad now when you might be facing down Duskwatch Recruiter, you know, or Sylvan Advocate. Like, these turn 2 spells are a lot better now than they used to be. Well, let's get in there. This turn is interesting. Few ways we could play it. I think it's going to be Sylvan Advocate, Evolving Wilds. But yeah, Kalitas works like that, dude. Maybe, I guess we have to check it for bugs here in the game, but yeah, you should be able to put out Kalitas, Planar Outburst, and end it with a bunch of zombies. Frostlinks, huh? Well, there's something I don't see every day. Yep, that's pretty straightforward. Well, he has nothing really to get right now with this Green Warden, but he's got the Gather. But the Soulblade Djinn, that could be a problem, but I think it's too slow. He's only on 4 mana. I'm going to take his play from next turn, Gather the Pack, because that makes his Green Warden a lot better. And I think I can get ahead of Soulblade. I think I can force him to be defensive. And no, I think we can wait on the Green Warden. I mean, he doesn't have anything to get back, you know what I mean? So, it's kind of a big dumb animal that costs 6 mana, and he's only got 3, now 4. Nope, I think Gather's the right pick. Because if we can get out ahead of him and get really aggressive, his big awesome monsters are just going to have to try to block our awesome monsters. And they're going to have a hard time, and now we're going to have a huge turn. Are you guys ready for a huge turn? Make some noise for a huge turn, Tireless Tracker. Oh, he's going to cut me off, is he? He's all excited about Soulblade Djinn. Well, let me show you how we do things in my neck of the woods. This is also going to pump Sylvan Advocate, which is why Waste doesn't... Ruin in Their Wake does not have to be cast on turn 2 to be a good card, you guys. Just letting you know. And this time, we definitely want it on the battlefield to pump our Sylvan. Alright. And... Ki. So like I said, he can cast his Soulblade Djinn and his Green Warden now. He's under too much pressure to really get away with anything. God, that was fun. That turn feels like standard to me. That feels like playing paper Magic. I love it. Having those huge turns. Oh, I love them. Yeah, Oblivion Strike. We were all hyped for it, but then it turned out that it was way too slow. Way too slow. Alright, you've got your 4-3. I've got Nissa, which you may have to attack, but that's fine. I'll lose Nissa. I guess we make another 4-4 because we're so firmly on the front foot, but we'll let her sit around for a minute. He doesn't need to know our plan is the 4-4. Boom. I mean, look at these aggressive options. These aggressive options are sweet. So, if I draw cards, I can get more damage in this turn. I can get him to 1. I mean, yeah, I don't know how he's going to come back from that. Plus, if my Tireless Tracker is big, too big for Radiant Flames, that's a very good, that's a big deal. Gets everything away from Radiant Flames, although, so I don't even know what I'd be worried about. Down to Uno. So, you see that Sylvan Ranger he had? It just got run over. We just ran it right out of the gym. Sylvan Ranger, Frostlinks, they just got... I mean, those cards are very much like back... They're the last format, you guys. They really are. They're the last format. The last format where we had very little to do that was actually good on turns 2 and 3. They were like throwaway turns, and we just tried to generate some value so that we'd have a decent mid-game, a decent late game, right? And now that's not the case anymore. Now you do that stuff, and you just get run over. We can leave this game. We know what happened. That, Bounce, I never gave you props for that podcast, I don't think. Not in person, anyway. That was really fun. I hope you do another. You probably should. Now that the set is out, you should probably do one for your first impressions. I would listen. I'm sure a lot of people would. It would be a lot of fun. So, I would encourage you to consider that. And yeah, Nighthawk was right. Don't we all love saying that? Nighthawk was right. 5-color Tower of Power was right. Well, if you want... I would strongly recommend if you want to make a podcast about bugs, that you just make a podcast about bugs, get it out of your system, and then make a podcast about the actual decks and the potential meta and the good cards and the bad cards. That would be my recommendation that you don't have to take, because I'm by no means a podcast expert, but it would be hard for me to listen to a podcast that's only complaining about bugs, because that's not really my style. I try not to get too much into complaining if I can help it, and if that was the only thing that happened on the podcast, I would be sad. You have one more, Bounce. You have one more podcast done than I do. So yeah, you're more of an expert than me. Do I need land here? It's hard to turn down a Tireless Tracker. It doesn't really fit my curve at all, though. And I don't know. I feel like this hand needs land. Let's... Yeah, I don't need the tracker for card advantage. I need land. Did you guys see that? That was me hitting the left trigger to zoom out, look at my battlefield in hand, and then zoom back in and make my educated decision. So, see? They did something. I mean, we still can't hit, like, L trigger to zoom the last card played. We have to do this stupid dance on the sticks to get over to zoom something, but they added that. They did that little thing. What set should I invest in? Just playing casually, catch up on the meta. I mean, if you're brand new to the game, probably Origins. It's good a starting point as any, I guess. So this is interesting. I'm sure he wants to flip that. And if he does, we can really blow him up. Like, we can blow him out with this card. And if he doesn't, we can make a Scion and ramp, so... Yep. We're going to take a little bit of a control route, which I don't love. I'd prefer to be ramping into big things, but we're going to wait one turn, because if this is an aggressive vampire deck... Oh, he doesn't flip. Boo. Am I being sniped? Nighthawk, check out this guy's ID. Gonna be rough. So that 3/2 flyer can put up quite the clock, so we gotta get moving. If I save my Scion, I can have a Bellower next turn. But he can't do another turn where he just passes. But if he has a Fiery Temper, that kind of plays right into him. So I'm going to wait and do the Bellower. Okay, and he runs green stuff too. Great. And he taps out for a 4/2. That'll put a counter over there. Maybe I'm overestimating this guy's deck. This is a mistake I make pretty often, but at least it's a mistake on the side of caution, I suppose. That's still going to be a heck of a clock in the air that I need to deal with. I need a Spatial Contortion. Pretty bad. Alright. I guess we just have to be bigger and meaner and hopefully faster. So, we need max power. Yeah. Although that could very much get Fiery Tempered. Second Jund list with some vampires in it that we've played. Humans versus Eldrazi. That's what I'm watching on the SCG Open. Woo! Hey guys, so last week 3 loser non-Brits told me that Kozilek's would be broken. Dude, if you'd had me on, you wouldn't have had that problem. I mean, really, the amount of fear I heard for Kozilek and the so-called math behind it was just kind of funny to me. Alright, I have to make blocks. I can't just keep taking the damage. I have no way to gain life other than the Profane Prince. Okay. I mean, that's fine. So I've got to... This at least sets him back, and we can hopefully use Duskwatch Recruiter to draw our way back into the game. So, okay. Yeah, this is great. This is awesome. I'm kind of surprised he did that. I mean, it's not a beautiful trade or anything like that, but I'm really surprised. Alright, so let's generate some card advantage and try to get this ball rolling all over again. When you have Duskwatch Recruiter and Tireless Tracker, you have options. You can either pay 2 to draw cards or pay 3 to loot, to like dig for a creature. And it depends on what's going on the board, whether you need a creature or a spell. That would imply I need creatures because Spatial Contortion won't kill it. So digging for spells won't get me anywhere, whereas digging for creatures might make me a Profane Prince. Alright. Well, that was, you know, it's Nissa. I love Nissa. She'll probably eat an attack from our opponent. I don't need to draw more cards, but I will need that 4/4. Alright, can I attack him? I can, because I can make clues. So, let's send in Tracker and see if he wants to block, if he knows the interaction. Nope. So I am gonna go ahead and, oh wait, I already decided I need creatures, not spells, so I'm not going to activate clues. I'm gonna play Duskwatch, I'm gonna make a 4/4. Just flood the board. So you guys, you're getting the vibe here, I'm sure, from the last 2 games, that it's really all about trying to find ways to get aggressive. We trade where we can because we can dig out of it with card advantage. Now, kind of the nightmare for this deck is if they get ahead of us and have something that flies, because we can't really gain life. We have to draw Spatial Contortion to kill it. So I hope you're kind of getting a vibe for how aggressive you need to be with this thing. The games we've lost are definitely the games where we've been sitting on the back foot, not doing enough. Just not making good plays. Nissa goes, but the 4/4 remains. Okay, dig, grow, draw. Pretty good. Alright, one more creature to get Profane in here. Yeah, we'll go for the power as opposed to the Nissa go wide because she'll just die in the air. It's got a 2/1. Do I care? Do I care if I trade with that 2/1? He gains 2 life, but then he can't attack me with it. Do I care if he gains 2 life? Nah, let's just get aggro. Let's just get really feisty as much as we can. Woohoo, doggy! One could say I should have sacked a clue before combat if I knew I was going to anyway, because then we could have played that. And you would probably be right. Not something I actually thought about enough. Alright, your move, bro. My plan is on the board. I have built Esper Control. I have played some games. I have deleted it. I'd check out Gemini's Esper Control. It's very Gemini, which means it doesn't make sense in some ways, but yet he has success with it. He seems to win a lot of games with his control. his Esper control, which is basically 4 color because it runs Thought-Knot Seer. But yeah, I'm not focusing very hard on building Esper control or a control deck like that because this deck is like this format is going to be hard to answer. Whether I'm using vampires with a lot of haste or whether I'm using these green creatures that just drown you in value, it's a big endeavor for any control deck, I think, to come back from that, especially a 3-color deck. And for whatever reason that people gravitate to Esper as a tricolor, I'm not really a fan right now. I'm trying to avoid 3-color decks wherever I can and keep the mana consistent. But that doesn't mean I don't try them. That doesn't mean I don't work on them. Silly little vampire cohort cards are gone from the Orzhov deck now. Yay! Good job, Nuke. You did it. You got them cohorts out. You are one step closer to pro level. That's just a joke. Even the pros probably play with cohort cards in limited and at kitchen table drafts. Oh, we maxed out. Dollar, dollar, dollar. So what time is it? 3:10. I think we can get a few more. What do you guys think? I'm going to fill up my water really quick. And I'll look for a game while I do it. So there'll be a minute of non-commentary. Don't panic. I'll be right back. So here's the other thing with Esper Control. It's not that it's necessarily a bad deck. I won't go that far. The thing is, it's not easily a great deck. Like, it's going to take a lot more work than I'm willing to put in. And when it's early in a format, you only have so much time. I can only play so many hours in a day, even though I try really hard to play as much as I can. So early in a format, you have to pick what you're going to focus on, you know? And it only took a few games with Esper Control for me to realize this is not something I really want to focus on right now. So I'm not going to put a ton of work into that because I think it'll take a lot more effort. A lot more effort to make it good. So my opponent's going Black Elf aggro. So we might have to play the control in this game and be the one casting bigger, badder spells. Our opponent's representing a Grasp of Darkness. So how do we want to take this turn? If we play Duskwatch and it gets grasped, that's very sad, Panda. If we Warping Wail and exile his Thornbow, that's not bad. But it's not great. And if we Ruin in their Wake and then Thought-Knot Seer next turn, he faces a brick wall, and we get to see what he's working with and take a removal spell. And a 4/4 is generally not the easiest to deal with. So I think we take another 2 points and Ruin in their Wake, even though I don't really like taking damage with this deck. Like I said, the life gain isn't a thing it does well. But I think the Thought-Knot Seer is worth it. I haven't tried Jeskai Control very thoroughly yet, Bounce. I have Is it Madness Control or is it Surge Madness Control, however you want to look at it. That deck has impressed the heck out of me. I've had a really good time with it. Have I given up on ramping into big Eldrazi? Is the aggro route better for this deck? I think it is. I played this deck with ramping into big Eldrazi. It was what I tested early in the format. It's what so I kind of had some practice with that, and it just didn't go well. It seemed like everybody could deal with my big creatures, like Walker in the Waste and such, or they could go over the top if they were also a ramp deck. I don't know. I got away from just green ramping, and this is more of a green aggro / mid-range strategy. Now, what are you working with, buddy? Bone Splinters, oh boy. Shoot. I guess we can hope to dodge a land next turn, and if we do, we can get out another creature so Fleshbag doesn't hit us. But that means we have to take the Bone Splinters, because we really don't want him using this next turn to draw into his next land. We need to just kind of hope he misses on mana for another turn. How am I liking Warping Wail? Hit and miss. It has its beautiful moments, and it has its sad moments, like when we tried to counter an Exquisite Firecraft off the top when we were at 4 life. Very sad. So, I mean, yeah, just, it's fine. I've used it as a ramp spell more than anything. Turn 2, make a Scion. Turn 3, make a Thought-Knot Seer. Something like that. So we dodged the bullet. So now I think the play can be Tireless Tracker Recruiter, or Warping Wail can exile this, or it can make a Scion for the Fleshbag. I like that. Okay. So we start with the attack? Yeah, we start with the attack. So make sure we leave a colorless up, and we do. Tracker to the field, land for the clue. Now we hold up Warping Wail. If he draws a land, we're good. If he doesn't, we activate a clue. Brilliant. The deck does need a way to like remove the early threats of like Goblin Glory Chaser, Jace Vryn's Prodigy on turn 2, the opponent's mana dork, that Deathcap Cultivator, and Warping Wail actually does the job. So, I mean, it's right for this deck. Let's just throw it out that way. It's not right all the time, it's right for this deck. Alright, so did we get... Yeah, we want the Rogue's Passage. I mean, Rogue's Passage is surprisingly good in this format at closing out these closing out these games, just closing out all kinds of mid-range matchups. I've found that I'm putting the Hydra Rogue's Passage combo in more and more decks, and right now I'm running it in everything from like Simic Tempo to Werewolves, because when things get bogged down, you play your Hydra, you go get your Rogue's Passage, and then you like fireball them for 7 or 8 the next turn. This is kind of the way it works. Or sometimes you get Bone Splinter, but I still got the Rogue's Passage. I also went up to 2 Rogue's Passages in this deck. That's how good I'm finding the card to be. Our opponent's left. Let's see. This is gonna be the end. This is gonna be my last game, so let's play it out and finish the AI. Put some closure on the stream in that way. Guess I didn't need to do that. Let's see. What would you say were your top 5 old cards that improved with this update? Oh, Rogue's Passage. Yeah, that one is way up there. Rogue's Passage is way up there. Eldrazi Sky Spawner is way up there because you can use it to ramp into Reality Smasher, Endbringer, Thought-Knot Seer. You can basically use the Scion as a mana source more than you wanted to. So Sky Spawner and Rogue's Passage immediately come to mind. But as far as top 5, I can't really top 5 off the top of my head. I'm the type of person who actually has to look at a full list of cards and then rank them. And that you're asking me. You're asking too much. You're asking too much of me right in this moment, Bounce. Maybe a subject for an article sometime, or a podcast, if you will. Certainly interesting. Let's see, other cards that got a lot better. The problem is only a few cards got a lot better because a lot of cards just got completely displaced. You know what I mean? Jace, Jace was not the best Planeswalker in this game before. He really wasn't, because he is only as good as the spells you can flash back, and a lot of spells that you could flash back, just aren't that good. It's duels, right? The good ones are hard to find. Bellower, Bellower, that goes on the list. So Jace now, though, is a Madness Enabler. Also fits the Reanimator deck, which I've been impressed with. So Jace got better with this update, which actually I think was important, but most people probably didn't feel the same way about Jace I did, where I didn't feel it was like the best card. This card got better, Evolving Wilds, because now you can find wastes with it and splash that in several decks. So, there. I think that was 5 cards. Jace, Bellower, Evolving Wilds, Rogue's Passage, something else I missed. I already forgot. How embarrassing. Green Warden actually got worse, and I'll tell you why. Because now that the format isn't necessarily about grinding in the mid game where everybody casts it, now for 6 mana you can play Woodland Bellower and go get a 4/5, and both of those beat at just attack at Green Warden. And you can Hydra for Rogue's Passage that just goes under Green Warden. Yeah, I think Green Warden got worse. That's my opinion. I mean, it's not even in this deck. Did you guys notice that? It's not even playing Magic in here because I don't have time to be getting stuff back from the graveyard and recasting it again. I have to be finishing the game. Yeah, that's my opinion. You could call it wrong. I wouldn't be. It wouldn't be the first time I've been disagreed with. But yeah, show me it's. I've just had no problem beating up Green Wardens because I'm just doing much cooler things. Yeah, I don't know if Outland Colossus is better, but it works in this deck. You definitely want it in this deck. Reflector Mage is a big problem for Outland Colossus, but it's a problem for a lot of things, and hopefully Thought-Knot Seer can get out there and take Reflector Mage. But yeah, I mean, Colossus is faster than a Green Warden, for sure, So that's the deck. Thank you guys for hanging out and asking a bunch of questions. Tragic Arrogance, that's an interesting card. It is good against the Planeswalker decks. The only problem is they do still have a Planeswalker at the end of it. That is a problem, but maybe you have an Anguish Unmaking to finish that job. Or one really big awesome creature that you left yourself with. So, yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. This has been fun. This has been me taking out the Green X deck, doing a deep dive. I don't think I'd change anything right now. The games that we lost, one was definitely because of our hand. The other, I'm not even sure what happened. But really, I think I could have played the deck better today, and I think that there's a lot of just raw power here that the deck might even be better than what it showed. I'd say it was mostly player error in the cases that I lost. So now that I know what kind of hands to keep, I really can't think of a change to the list I would endorse. I love this list. You guys should play it and tell me how it does for you. So thanks, guys. I'm going to go hang out and watch some Star City games and hang out with my wife for a bit. Maybe I'll be back later, but you'll definitely see me around. So check out this deck list if you want to on magicduelshelper.com. And check out Haunted Flower Duels Diaries. I'll be putting out a post tomorrow with my initial reactions to the new cards, the meta, and everything like that. So thanks for coming by, and I'll see you around.